What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Born Offside. After a long weekend, we're in here doing the hard yards because no such thing as a long weekend when you've got the best fans in the world. You've got to give them a pod.
We do.
Cat. It's a great weekend of football, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. It's still going. Did you have the typical Easter weekend?
I did.
Plenty of food.
Had all the family over yesterday.
Yeah, beautiful.
Shout out to my cousin Julian. He's here right now. He was there yesterday as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just your classic kind of. Do you guys do the egg cracking?
Not the egg smashing, no.
Yeah.
Isn't like egg hunts and stuff like that?
So we do those,
Yeah.
but then we do this thing where you boil eggs and then you play a game of like cracking the egg.
Yeah, and if your egg doesn't crack, what is it? What
You
does it
keep
mean?
going. If your egg
Doesn't
doesn't
it mean
crack,
something?
well, no.
Does it mean like you're stronger or something? Like
Well, no,
you're
it
gonna
means
have a
you
better
picked a better egg.
Ah, okay.
In our version of it, you start off like, say you and I crack against each other.
Right.
Whoever wins then faces
Correct someone
Olan.
else, yeah.
But
And
is
then-
it
But
like,
surely
are
your
the
egg gets
eggs
weaker.
boiled or the eggs?
No, the idea is if your egg cracks, you're out.
Okay.
So guess who won?
You.
No, my mum.
Oh.
Oh,
You got me
And
excited
guess who
there.
boiled the eggs?
Your mum?
My
Oh,
mum.
so she knew. She knew.
That was a
which
bit
egg.
of a family conspiracy
Yeah.
after that
Okay.
happened.
inside job.
Jeez,
Yeah.
there you go. Some
How
drama.
were your Easters?
Some proper. Probably not that drama filled. Mine was terrible. I was sick the whole time. I was out. I ate something bad last week and it just fucked me the whole weekend. I was done. What'd you get up to?
Not much. Just with the missus and her fam and
cute.
stuff like that. So yeah, not much.
Wedding bells, huh? Beautiful.
That
It's getting
escalated
serious.
quickly.
You know what I mean? When
It
you're
is.
spending Easter together, it's getting
Yeah,
serious. I
it's
love it. I love it. The man's in love. That's what I
We
like to
love
hear.
to see it.
There's plenty of love. There's a bit of hate coming up on the pod as well. Not from us, but just from people hating each other in the world of football. Well, there's plenty of beefs going on. But before we get to that, we hung out at the launch. Well, you hosted the launch of the World Cup
congrats.
kits last
Yeah,
week.
that was
Yeah, it was
That's why we
fun,
didn't have you on the
wasn't
pod.
Yeah.
We had Kat Sasso, great replacement. She was a good sub in.
smashed it.
But tell us about it. So we got a question in from Tyson in Gold. Can you guys rank the Women's World Cup kits? Now,
Okay.
Nike's launched their selection.
might need to do
Adidas
this.
launched their selection.
Yeah.
We know Kat can't really give her honest
Yeah,
opinion,
yeah.
right? What are your
I haven't
thoughts?
I haven't seen them all.
No.
I need to sit down and go through all the kits.
Yeah.
I might do a video about it.
Have a
It's
look
good
at them.
idea.
You should. There's some real,
And
like
see
I will
about
say,
the
Adidas
kits.
have gotten really creative with some of the designs. Like
Yeah.
the Japan kit's really
Yeah,
interesting,
nice
the
pink-
colors and
pink shot.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adidas do some good ones, man.
They do,
Yeah.
they do. But
The Nike ones are great.
Just a little plug there, of course.
but the Matildas one is quite nice. The Matildas unfortunately lost in their first game in the
Yeah.
brand new gorgeous turquoise kits. They lost 1-0 to Scotland. Cat,
They did.
shock? Are we meant to lose to Scotland, who didn't even
Well,
qualify
we've
for the World
had,
Cup?
I think, something like a 7-game winning streak or something along those
Yeah.
lines, which is good for the Matildas. But to be honest, a loss a couple of months out before the Women's World Cup is probably a good thing because
Okay.
we don't want to get complacent.
Right.
We probably need to change the squad around, make some changes. We've also got players coming off the back of like long-term injuries. Look at Ellie Carpenter. That's the first time she's put on that kit in a very long time for Australia. And we were happy to see her out there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she was able to give it 100%. So I think the result is whatever. I mean, they are friendlies at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We just consider it valuable time in camp because we don't get all that much of it.
No, and we rested a few players, including Sam Kerr, didn't play. There's a bit of a fitness cloud around Sam Kerr, but the Scottish Sam Kerr played. There was a Sam Kerr
What?
playing for
How
Scotland.
How funny is that?
Yeah, there was a Samantha Kerr that played for Scotland,
that's funny.
and they swapped jerseys and everything at the end of the game anyway. It is a 1-0 loss to Scotland, who didn't even qualify. On Wednesday morning, the Matildas are playing England. Now, England continue to boss Olan. They won the Finalissima, which got brought back in the men's game. Italy played Argentina, winner of Euro versus winner of Copa America. So in the women's, they played at England versus Brazil.
Brazil.
Packed out Wembley again. Was that Wembley? Wasn't it?
It was
Yeah, they
at
packed out
Wembley.
Wembley again, and the girls won as they do so often.
I'm not surprised that England team is stacked, and a lot of them have played together for years. And coming off the win of the Euros doesn't.
Are you expecting them to
doesn't-
romp
doesn't
this
really-
Matilda side?
Yeah, I reckon we'll be. In, I'm not gonna lie. I think we'll
Don't
be in
take
the
a breath or anything.
Semis, or at least minimum semis. I'm expecting from
Women's World Cup.
them. They've always been up there, to be honest.
You're
so-
proper England through and through. Like England play Australia in the women's. Your
Yeah, I got
your lionesses
Yeah,
through and through.
Have to be.
Yeah,
Leah
Also,
Williamson as well.
that
love her.
squad, very good.
yeah.
They
How about the coach? The coach is phenomenal. She's come in and changed everything, hasn't she?
a Vegan,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I fist bumped her at the draw.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Fist bumped. It sounded like you said something else. So really?
Oh,
Just for the record, you said it.
I
Anyway,
fisted her
moving on.
At the what? Jeez, Kat, it's getting dark.
keep it
Damn, man, we just kicked it off. Shit. Anyway,
Still technically Easter.
technically.
but look, nonetheless, a great win for Scotland, and we were seeing there's so many nations now lifting up in the women's game. They didn't even qualify for the World Cup, and they're capable of that type of performance. It is good to see, but we really need to get our act together. I'm very interested to see how we perform at Wembley against England on Wednesday.
Nerve-wracking.
It is a bit nerve-wracking. But one thing that was good to see, and I saw a couple of tweets about this, they played at Wimbledon's little ground over there in the UK. That's where Australia played.
Oh, really?
It's actually now it's been sponsored. It's called the Cherry Red Records Stadium, but I don't know what the actual name is. But it's Wimbledon's home ground. It's got a capacity just under 10,000. It's a beautiful little one.
Those grounds are the best, man.
Yeah, and so one of the reporters that was there reporting on the game posted it saying all A-League teams and NPL teams or teams that are starting the second division need to build stadiums like this.
I agree.
Stop building 40, 50,000 seater stadiums for football teams. This is where we should aim to play it. And that's the same weekend that Adelaide packed out Coopers against Sydney FC on the weekend. And it was so good to see 14, 15,000.
It's so nice.
Suburban ground. That's what we need to aim
Looks
for,
a lot
right? More of
better.
that.
Looks a lot better. Just it feels like the fans closer to the players. It just feels better.
It's
man. It looks
intimate.
better.
Feels intimate. It's Stadium Australia. You had 35,000 in there the other night for the NRL.
Right.
Looked empty.
They got 35,000?
They got
What was that, Bulldogs?
35,000.
No.
Yeah. Or
Bulldogs and Rabbitohs? Is that what you're talking
Something
about?
like that. Was
yeah,
that
I
the
think
game?
so. I think so.
Yeah, it just doesn't,
But
it doesn't look
someone
good.
I know
surprised
was
they got
there. They
35,000.
said 35,000 people in attendance. You've got patches and just empty spaces everywhere.
Yeah, I hate
you
it.
bring it into a smaller stadium and it just feels so much more electric.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need it.
We definitely need it. We definitely need that, especially now talking second division. And just on that, we're going to have a special guest on the pod later in the week. Daniel Georgievski's jumping on with you two. And
Really
he's
cool.
someone that's got some great opinions
It'd
when
be
it comes to
good
the
to
Aussie
talk,
game.
you know, second division with him and his thoughts and who he sees and all that kind of thing. So.
Exactly, because he's gone from playing Champions League in Europe to playing A-League, and he's still playing now in the NPL. So he's really experienced all levels. So keep an eye out for that pod. We do like talking the lower levels. In the NPL, did you see Anthony Frangi's bicycle kick in the New South Wales NPL?
Mate. Yeah. I think that's probably... It's got to be goal of the
Are
season.
you friends with him?
Yeah, I'm friends with him. Yeah, got to be goal of the season. To be
Because
honest,
we got
man.
a question here from Joseph K. Is Anthony Frangi's bicycle kick the best thing to ever come out of Mount Druitt?
Oh, Mount Druitt, MPL in general, bro. That's got to be. That's if like that doesn't get you a trial at a top club. I don't know what.
You're
will.
saying that's bigger than Mount Druitt. That's just
Yeah, that's
Australia.
NPL.
1-4
general,
came out of Mount Druitt. That's pretty big. I don't know. I don't know if it's as big as 1-4, but it's up there. It was a gorgeous bicycle. Even just to try that.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of cojones, right?
Yeah.
Have you
Even
guys ever?
People got to give credit to the cross as well. It was literally identical of reminiscence of Rooney v Man City.
Yeah.
Like it was,
How true is that though? That in order to take
In
to
order-
even attempt a goal like that, the cross has
gotta
to be so
yeah,
good.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good, man.
Did I attempt it? No. The only time I've ever attempted bicycle kick is clearances.
Yeah.
I don't think we...
No.
If we ever find ourselves in the box, you don't have the balls to try a bicycle
No
kick on the
way.
other end of the park. No way.
Get subbed.
What's your go-to type of goal? Like, what have you scored the most of?
not many.
Not many.
For me, I scored
Couple headers.
headers,
Couple tap-ins at the back post.
tap-ins, and free kick.
Nice.
I scored one great goal when I was playing at Marconi. One great goal where I won a ball, ran the whole, played a couple 1-2s, but ended up
Sick.
shooting from outside the box and scored.
Beautiful.
But that's one in my entire life.
Yeah, then you
The
still
rest are all
remember.
like
I
set
love that.
pieces and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
nice.
But that's just life as a centre half.
I love
We
it.
accept that. You
I
know
love
what I mean?
that.
We don't get excited for the goals.
No.
We get excited for the tackles.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
It's a bonus.
Yeah. We spoke about that bicycle kick. There was another bicycle kick, probably not as beautiful as the NPL one, but Erling Haaland shows he's got more levels to his game.
That was a good bicycle kick just
That was
because it's
tasty.
just so unexpected.
Yeah.
Like the way he can just
For a big man to move like that.
score at any angle. It doesn't matter where the ball is, high, low, awkward bounce, whatever it is. He's putting it in the net, so it's just crazy.
He's
not
automatic. No, he's not human. He's automatic
not
at the moment.
human.
And that's his first. You'll like this one, Kat, Nike ambassador. That was his first game as a Nike athlete.
Ah, yes, I saw that. He
Right, so
did
you and him,
some-
you guys are like in a group chat now together? Do you guys talk or something?
Yeah,
you could get
yeah.
flown out to England and then have a Nike event.
You know what
Haaland's
it
there.
means? It means we're one step closer to getting Haaland on this couch.
That's exactly right.
That's
If
what it
anyone
means.
can
Yeah.
sort it, it's you. You did speak to Kai Simon last week.
We did.
Yeah?
Well, I did. Yes.
You did.
Yes.
As always, you get to do
We
the cool
got-
shit.
Also, he was in London as well. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
Of him?
Yeah, for the
He was
launch?
just like he was there for the launch, but he was also like
It's his boot launch, wasn't it? Or
he was
something.
just like I just saw some videos of him just standing like on Oxford Street, just like looking at the camera and stuff
Yeah.
for the launch, and
Yeah.
everyone was just recording him. I'm like, wow, man, this he's actually huge.
Yeah.
He's a unit.
Like
Yeah.
6'4".
Yeah. And he's bossing it. And I think City, we're going to get there in a second. Let's go there right now. Before we go to Chelsea, which were miserable, let's go to Arsenal now, who dropped points to your team, Liverpool. And to be fair, probably lucky to get out of that with just a draw because Liverpool
I
turned it
know.
on. They went
They
down
did.
2-0, but they turned it on. Mo Salah missed a pen. 2 in a row, he's missed the target
From
completely.
the same place as well.
Can you get him off? Get him off pens. Surely, how many? I mean,
Yeah, he's got to come off.
how many do you miss until you decide, let's swap pen
Two
taker?
is max.
You'd say 2 max.
2 missing the entire target. It's
Yeah,
not like
I
the
know.
keeper
It's not
saved
like
it.
keeper saved it.
No.
yeah.
No, I know. That was a tough watch, if
Yeah,
I'm honest.
that was a tough watch. But a great performance from Liverpool.
Yes, I'm glad we made a comeback. Did you guys see the elbowing incident with
Yeah,
Andy
Robinson and the ref, but apparently he kind of grabbed the ref and the ref just like get off me
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I think
Yeah.
it was a bit of like it was kind of Robbo being Robbo, where he does the whole.
Yeah, Roy Keane was like, he needs to focus on defending.
Yeah,
Stop
King
worrying
called him a
about the
big baby on the coverage. And
Typical Roy
the
Keane.
linesman himself. Hey, who says the Greeks aren't taking the Premier League by storm? The
I
linesman
know, I
was
saw that.
Konstantin Hatzidakis.
Don't fuck with him.
Hey,
Don't fuck with him, bro.
hello there.
I kind of
Hilarious.
like refs like that. Like, shut up, man. Let me do my job. You do
Yeah,
yours.
don't
I kinda
touch me.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, over in the MLS this weekend, actually, we saw Martin Cáceres, which used to play big teams in the Serie A, Uruguayan international. He got sent off because while the referee went to watch the VAR screen, he went and tried to look at the VAR screen with the ref
man.
and kind of put his arm on the ref's shoulder. The ref turned around, sent him off.
That's
Onside
fair,
or
man.
offside? Like, is a
Nah,
player
that's-
allowed to watch the screen as well?
That's offside, man.
From the player?
Yeah,
It's
from the
offside.
player, because he needs to focus on what he's doing. He doesn't need a player's arm round him while he's trying to. That's disrespectful.
Because you know the type of person that does that. They're
Yeah.
being a bit smart.
I mean, he's
like-
Uruguayan.
Being a bit
I don't want to
smart.
generalize, but you know, South Americans.
Yeah,
man,
it's
they're-
like he's going up when you go up to a bar. The girl's there, and you just put your arm around. You don't even know who she is.
you can't do that.
That's offside.
That's offside. In the
It's
modern
not
If she
your
game,
place.
if she turns
It's not
around and
your
in the
slaps
modern
you-
game, that's offside.
Yeah. If she
In
turns
the
around
old
and
school
slaps
game,
you,
maybe that gets.
She didn't give you any signs that arm was welcome.
Exactly, bro. So that's the exact same thing. It's offside. Red card. Off you go.
Does it depend on who you are?
What
do you
as a
mean?
person? Oh, like the player or the.
Well, the player.
Oh, you're saying like if it's she turns around and it's Drake, then it's like
It's
it's
fine.
fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's always circumstances where it probably doesn't
You know?
matter.
For a ref, though, if it's Ronaldo, are they like, ooh,
They let it go, maybe.
hey?
Do you know what I mean?
True.
Yeah,
That does
maybe.
make yeah.
A lot of people were saying Bruno Fernandes got away with touching a referee recently, and then Mitrovic got 8-game ban for doing a very similar thing.
Well, there was I think Mark Goldbridge was saying it on his stream that how different the refs treat the lower teams compared to
The top
higher
four, top
the
six,
top
yeah.
four, like
Yeah.
the top 4, top 6 get away with
Yeah.
so much. And I think he said Bournemouth or someone else haven't had a penalty call at all this whole season,
There you go.
which is
I
a
don't like
wild
hearing
stat.
that.
It's wild,
That's
you know?
bad.
And that
It
it brings us back to the point. If you're at the bar and someone puts their arm around
If
you,
you're Drake, if it's
and
Drake,
you
you're
turn
like,
and look at him and he looks like a potato,
True.
you're probably more likely
yeah,
to whistle
yeah.
True.
and book him,
True.
right? Or at least put your hand up and call for something.
You're not
if you turn
wrong.
around and he's 6'4",
Good
blue
looking.
tick athlete
Yeah, you're like
kinda guy.
Okay.
Blue tick means nothing these days.
yeah, it's
True.
true. You can pay for it. But are you more likely to
Oh,
play
yeah.
advantage? You see
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's a fucked up world we live in.
Yeah, it is. It is.
This is terrible.
We can role reverse this, and it's an attractive woman that puts her arm around you.
Yeah, I get it. It kind of depends who you
Yeah.
are. All red cards stuff.
Yeah.
As Shabsy's saying.
I don't know.
Some are just a play on, that's all.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Without going too much into your love life, because we try and do that every episode. I'll try to give you a break this time, especially because your cousin's in the room.
It's really nice of you. Even though he listens to every episode.
But just on that game as well, I want to get another onside offside for you. Zinchenko, he likes to cry. Do you like an emotional man? I lasted 10 seconds.
Yeah, talk.
Do you like
Time and
yourself an
place,
emotional
time
man?
and place. I
Yeah.
think it's nice. Like, it's such a green flag when a man goes to therapy and like knows how to understand themselves and their experiences.
Okay, but even from the start,
But I
is that
don't.
is that once you're already in love with the guy? Then
I
it's
don't
okay?
really
Like,
want someone like necessarily crying on my shoulder though.
Okay,
right?
right.
But also,
Wait, so you want him emotional but not crying on your shoulder?
Yeah.
well,
Which
what's
one
he
is it?
crying about?
Well, if
Getting
he's emotional,
nutmegged.
he's gonna cry. No.
Well, getting nutmeg.
Showing emotion and then being like a crybaby, two different things.
Okay,
yeah.
Don't be a
Zinchenko's
crybaby.
Zinchenko's bordering on crybaby at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he looked like he was in tears after the game. He got nutmegged in the lead up to Liverpool's second
He
goal.
cried over being nutmegged.
Well, he then came off, and it looked like
Oh,
he
was that when Trent
Trent
megged?
megged
Was that him? I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
him. Trent megged him, set up the second goal, and then he was quite upset after it. Onside or offside?
That's his ego.
To
His
be honest,
ego was
Do
crying.
you know why that's onside for him?
Yeah.
Because that goal for him, he's probably thinking, I might have just cost Arsenal the title.
True.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's probably what he's deep in. And it's like, it's been 9 years since they won it. It's like, oh, tiny little mistake and they've scored. Now we might have messed up our chances to win the title. I get that.
I actually do get that too.
That's
I think
passion.
when you hit this point in the season, like anything can shake you.
Gotta
Even
feel
being
bad for him.
megged.
Yeah, well, you got to feel bad for him because it feels like City are coming. And at the moment, if
Pause.
City, yeah,
Pause.
I would not want to feel what that would feel like because it would be.
Whoa, what do you mean by that?
It would be mighty. Think about it. That Man City team, it would be mighty. And I don't want to experience that. Because if that City team were coming, it would be an avalanche of ejaculate. Think about it. It's such a great footballing side.
So far offside. That's fucking hilarious.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
He went there. I was just
No,
trying
you're
to,
right. He said pause.
But
And you well and truly paused.
It does feel like they're coming because 3 points, if they win that game in hand,
Yeah.
they're 3 points behind Arsenal. They've still got to play Arsenal. Arsenal's got a very hard run home that consists of Chelsea as well, even though we'll get to Chelsea in a second. Brighton, who are playing very well.
Yep.
Who's winning the league from here, Olan?
It's going to be a tough one. I don't know who I want to see win the league, to be honest. Like Arsenal, I want Arsenal as a club to win the league.
Just
but
not their
without
fans.
without the fans,
Okay.
like I said, because we're not going to hear the end of that.
No.
They could have, but then I also go, do Arsenal fans deserve it? Because at times they had Aubameyang up top. They had who else did they have in that team? They had
Are you thinking the shit
Ozil was,
strikers?
I'm just saying that team.
Marwan Shamak?
They've been through a tough time.
Bentner?
As Stav says, like they've been through a tough time. So I
Did you
kind
quote
of,
Stav?
yeah, like
Love that.
You know.
Well, it's been 19 years.
Yeah.
Do they deserve it?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas if City win it, it's just the same thing
No.
again. It's nothing's really going to
Arsenal
change.
deserve to win this title. They have worked their butts off. Arteta had a plan when he came in. It took 3 years to get there, but we're seeing that now. He's fostered young talent.
Yeah.
He knows what
you reckon
works.
Here's what I want to see. I'm neither here nor there because I'm the same as you. The Arsenal fans shit me. Here's what I want to see. They're going to play City still. They better go and beat City in that game. And if they beat City in that game, I will say, you know what? You deserve the Premier League title. If they don't beat City in that game, I'm sorry, but you don't deserve it. You bombed out of Europa League. You bombed out of the Cups. You've thrown away points like at Anfield on the weekend, 2-0 up. You've thrown that away.
Yeah.
So if you don't beat City, you don't deserve to win the title because let's say City drop points. No.
Yeah.
Go and beat them in that game.
Beat the champion.
I agree with that.
Beat the champions.
Yeah.
I hear that.
And then
Yeah.
I think everyone would respect Arsenal. winning.
I think
also
you're right.
think if Arsenal win the Prem, then it might set a new precedent for gaffers as well.
Yeah,
In
people
terms of
stick
them,
by them more.
in terms of them actually getting a longer stint, because
Mm.
there was that period of time when we always talk about Arteta out, all of that period,
Yeah.
and they stuck with him. So
You're right.
it could possibly shift the blueprint a little bit, and with some clubs maybe sticking with their gaffers longer, which will internally help because you know how quickly managers get sacked these days.
Yeah.
Potter's out.
That's
Yeah.
such a good point, though, because we're seeing that right now, getting rid of managers left, right, and centre.
Well, I feel
and
like
you don't achieve anything,
I
right?
feel like Chelsea, our team. I feel like that's our blueprint,
Yeah.
and I don't think that will ever change.
Because we thought Roman Abramovich was bad. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have gone through like four
It's
managers
just,
in a season.
It's just the Chelsea way.
Yeah.
It's literally like if a gaffer's not doing well, he has to go because we have to win something. So I don't think that will ever change with a team like Chelsea, but other teams it possibly could change.
Yeah, especially Arsenal and United, which had such long stints with one manager that was so successful. You expect them to stick by that. It's good. Arteta's
It's in
doing
their
very
DNA.
well.
You're
It's in
right.
their DNA. But if they do bottle this and come second, it'll be interesting to see how that club bounces back. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about Chelsea. Frank Lampard returns,
Frankie
loses
Super.
1-0 to Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great goal, to be fair. The winner was a fantastic goal.
Fucked
of
up
the
my
same.
multi, man. Fucked up my multi. I need to stop betting on Chelsea.
Don't bet on
I'm
Chelsea,
surprised you bet on
Don't
them.
bet with your
But
heart.
I know. It's
Guys,
always
gamble
Chelsea or Para
responsibly.
letting
That
me
also
down.
means don't put money on Chelsea.
Yeah.
If you're gonna gamble responsibly. But it's always flipping Chelsea, bro. I swear to
How
you.
did you? So I wasn't there last week when the announcement was made.
Yeah.
But how did you guys feel when the change happened?
I felt good.
I was happy with it.
I actually felt good because I feel like if there's anyone that knows core values and knows how to get, people to at least run hard and train hard and remember the principles of being at Chelsea Football Club, it's Frank Lampard. So I kind of felt all right about it, but it kind of feels like there's no, I don't know how to describe it. When you just look at the players, I saw something the other day. It's like if Chelsea want to improve, we need to get rid of Sterling. Pulisic, Koulibaly, Fofana. We basically got to get rid of the whole team.
All the players that we just signed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone. So,
Yeah.
You guys spent £550 million in the last 12 months.
Who's counting? Do you know what I mean?
I know you're not.
Do you know what
I
I
know
mean?
you're not.
At
But
this
you know
point,
what
it
would
doesn't
be?
fucking
Who's
matter.
he counting dollar and
You know what I
cents?
mean?
Do you know
I
what I
am.
mean?
But you know what would be really funny
What?
is if you spent that and got relegated.
Oh, come on.
Nah, that's too far.
Well, that wouldn't be funny.
It
Are
would
you
be
serious?
hilarious.
Why do you want to see the world burn, Cat? To be
Your
fair, they're
world.
closer to the relegation zone than the title race, which is crazy. Look, we had some people writing in. Not many questions, just people really upset, right? Caleb Bora, I've had enough of Chelsea. Give me a new team to support. Jeez.
If you had to pick a new team,
I want to go on loan to Arsenal.
who are you picking? On
I've said
loan?
this before.
I'm going on loan.
Nah, I
Going
wouldn't
on
Who are you
loan, man.
picking?
There's
Not-
no
I
rules.
would-
You have to
in
pick
England,
someone.
in the Premier League?
You have to. I'll give you championship if not.
In
A
the
newly promoted Burnley.
If I was gonna go,
Burnley's
if
Burnley.
I
Why would
was
you
gonna
support Burnley?
go
Ugly colours.
a team, I'd go Brentford.
Yeah, it's a nice
Who are
one.
having a decent season.
No,
Brentford's a nice one.
I've fancy my odds on Ivan Toney as well,
Yeah,
so
little
I'd take Brentford.
cherries.
Brentford's a nice one. Nice part of town as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Very London.
I'd probably go Brighton,
Like that.
just because Roberto De Zerbi,
Yeah.
you know.
Italian connection.
Yeah. But we had people writing in. Calabora wrote that Scorera says Lampard out, settle down.
Oh,
We've just
okay.
spoken
Because this is
about
what
this.
happens.
He's only
Lampard
interim as
loses
well,
against
bro.
Wolves. He'll say they win the next one. They're like, Lampard was the best decision
Yeah.
ever.
I know.
It's the football
It's
narrative.
fans, right? Enjoy them. JC, how is Lampard still getting Premier League gigs? I think this one's an
Yeah.
exception.
Do you know what? Have we got his record
It's bad.
is actually pretty bad. Like when he takes over a team to where they finish, it's like 5 positions down. Something like that.
Oy, oy, oy.
Actually, not great when you look at it. And I was thinking,
No.
fuck.
Yeah,
But-
not
Not
to be-
but Chelsea's an exception. I don't think he would have landed any other team this season. But Chelsea's an exception because it's like it's his homecoming. It was very clear he's interim. He's only there
I
till
was
the
just
end
going
of
to
the year.
say, like, let's be clear. He's an interim manager.
Yeah.
Like, they are looking for a longer term solution.
Yeah.
And if he does well, he might be that solution.
Well,
and
the
if he doesn't, he's just going to get them through the remainder of the season.
The Champions League's about to happen, and he's taking on his former gaffer Carlo
Good luck,
Ancelotti.
my friends.
And that's 180 minutes where you can turn your whole career around. If Frank Lampard doesn't even have to win the Champions League, if he gets through Real Madrid, his whole managerial career is back on course.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
I'd agree with
if he
that.
wins us the Champions League,
Because Real Madrid in Champions League, he's drawn an awfully tough card. with
Yes,
that
he's
one.
drawn a tough card. But Real also lost on the weekend, 3-2 to Villarreal. They're showing their cracks as well, but Benzema's in some fine form and frightening form.
He got 2 hat-tricks last week.
2 hat-tricks in a row, one of them at the new camp.
Well, we know what Madrid are lacking in the Champions League, don't we?
Yeah.
They go
turn
another
into the
level.
Galacticos.
They
so
go another level.
Yeah,
exactly.
scary.
normal Madrid.
Exactly. One more thing I want to talk about in the Prem. Bibbidi-bobbidi-bobbidi-bobbidi.
What?
Right.
What the fuck?
Right, we had an Italian fight on the sideline, right? So Antonio Conte has been sacked from Tottenham,
Yeah.
and we spoke about this.
I hit me off
That whole moment
Off
was just
guard.
like a lot.
It's a Family Guy. It's a Family Guy
Yeah,
reference.
no, I got it.
You know the
but
reference?
his reaction to you made
He
me
was
laugh.
shocked. So Conte left his assistant gaffer Stellini in
Yes.
charge, which we thought was a bit strange. We spoke about this on the pod. Stellini first game's taking on De Zerbi, the Brighton
Yeah.
manager. And they had a fight before the game even kicked off. So on the sideline, they went to shake hands and they were fighting. Why? Well, Stellini came out in the media talking about De Zerbi and the job he's done at Brighton. And he said, he's taken Potter's team and he's continued the good work.
Right.
Kind of not giving
In other
him
words,
credit.
he's done nothing.
In other words, you inherited a good team
Yeah.
and you've continued to do well.
Yeah.
De Zerbi doesn't like that.
Fair.
And had a fight with him before the game even kicked off. They then continued to fight during the game. Both men got sent off. Italian passion. Italian flair.
It's the
I
the
did
hands,
see
isn't
It's
it?
a lot.
footage
There were a
though.
lot of hands.
Yeah, a lot
there
of
were
these.
a lot of
No,
hands.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
did
yeah,
see
that sort of
footage
stuff.
of De Zerbi just kind of standing there, and then the ref's like, red card. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing
I'm not
anything.
doing anything, yeah.
You know, when you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah,
Bit of
yeah,
that,
yeah.
bit of that.
I was gonna say like these managers coming out and say, I mean, the comments there, onside or offside,
What,
coming out and saying, oh, he's just inherited a good team. This whole managerial chat, and I guess what a manager says in the media, should you really be taking that personally?
Not really.
You gotta be bigger than that, right?
You know, how much stuff does Pep say in the media that you got to take with a grain of salt?
Yeah,
I think
it's
he said,
mind games,
he
right?
said something about Carl Walker on the weekend about why he didn't play him. He said, basically said, this is not the game for him.
Yeah.
Something like that. And
Yeah.
it's basically saying that he has
So
other
cryptic.
attributes. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
no one really takes it that seriously. But you got to take it with a grain of salt, I guess.
Tell you who's coming up to the Prem. Burnley.
Burnley.
You mentioned it before. Vincent
did.
Kompany officially promoted. They beat Riley McGree's Middlesbrough 2-1, and they're up. But this is a whole different Burnley. Are you excited to see Burnley back in the Prem?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Company's done with him. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched him one
Yeah,
bit.
me
But
neither.
Yeah.
I was following company a little bit when he was managing the team in which team was it? The Dutch team.
Anderlecht, Belgium.
Managing the Dutch team, and his halftime speech. So what?
Yeah.
You said Belgium and you went back to Dutch.
Oh, but
Same thing, basically. Yeah.
Belgium, Dutch. His halftime speech. I think I saw a clip of it, and it didn't like motivate me.
Okay.
So I was trying to see
Questioning it.
questioning his managerial stuff, but I guess it's worked.
Does he get overlooked? Like at his prime, he's one of the best centre halves ever in the Premier League.
100%.
How good was he in that period for Man City?
Unreal.
Ben Foster signed recently for Wrexham. Everyone wants to go to Wrexham now. It's the new.
I just
flavour
want
of
to
the
point out that Julian, my cousin, has been talking about Ben Foster all morning.
month. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And
you
it
listen
seems
to his-
only right that he's come up on the podcast.
Yeah,
as
because
well.
I mean, he's actually a very clever guy. Not only a good
He
goalkeeper.
loves media and doing all that
He's
stuff
got
as well.
He's got his own potty now, but
Sick
the
potty.
Wrexham fans aren't happy with him. They reckon this whole thing was a publicity stunt because he signed for Wrexham. He set up a GoPro and vlogged his entire game. So
He
was
always vlogs his games. Though.
he
He's
was-
been vlogging them since the Prem days.
right. So he's vlogged his game, and they lost, a very rare loss for Wrexham, which means now they're in a tight race for the promotion.
Yeah, wow.
And apparently, according to the fans, 2 goals could have been stopped. PR stunt. This whole signing of Ben Foster. They were flying high. They didn't need him.
I mean,
Do they need more PR?
They didn't really need more PR, but I don't think it's a PR stunt. Like he went there, I think he spoke about like barely any money.
Yeah.
He literally just wanted. He just said like, I just want to play.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think it was a PR stunt. Anyway, it's good for both parties. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah. And I think too, like you said, he's been vlogging since day one. He's always been the guy that likes YouTube, likes showing his life. He's not in it necessarily for more fame. I think it's probably more that his values align with where the club's at.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like say I went to a team in MPL 1, and they were like, oh, we like you because of your profile as well, but also you can play football.
Yeah.
And I'm vlogging some games. It's good for both parties.
They would expect that
true.
from you.
Yeah,
It's true.
exactly.
Yeah. There's more to football. Well, maybe they're now locked in 100. They're on 100 points, and Notts County are on 100 points, and only one team can go automatically up.
So this.
Right, there's a couple games to go. They're actually, by the time this pod comes out at 6 a.m., the game will be played between Notts County and Wrexham, right? They're playing at midnight between themselves. Now, this is what's huge about this. As I said, everyone knows the story about Wrexham, but Notts County, big club historically, one of the oldest clubs in England. They have a striker playing for them, Macaulay Langstaff. Have you heard this guy's story?
It's a good name, that.
41 goals he scored this season, 0 penalties.
Oh wow.
He's the most prolific footballer in England, more so than Erling Haaland.
I heard about this.
Right?
Oh, no, I did hear.
Now, this guy is a Middlesbrough youth player. They got dropped as a teenager. He's now 26 years old. 41 goals. Now, you've played
How
at
many
these
games, though, are we talking?
41 games.
Bro, 41
So he's
goals.
average a
at
goal
that-
a game.
Goal a game, no penalties.
41 goals, no penalty at that level is harder.
This is what I'm saying. At any, it's harder.
I think it's harder.
So you think it's harder to do it for Notts County than it is for Man City?
I think it's harder because the lower you go down, the shitter the pitches are.
Yeah.
The more fouls the ref's not going to give.
No VAR.
No VAR. You've got to deal with actual defenders that just want to hit the shit out of you for 90 minutes.
do
You're
you
also
think-
not playing with a caliber of a team like City, right? Like you've got people
I
left,
think
right, and
it's
centre
hard-
that
Yeah.
can set up a
harder,
goal
bro.
for you.
So Macaulay Longstaff, Erling Haaland.
I'm,
Whose achievement is harder to achieve?
I'm not trying to take anything away from Haaland, but I think that achievement at that low level is fucking hard.
Okay.
So I saw an article this morning, funnily enough, on The Athletic about how many strikers have scored 30 or more goals in a season in this amount of games that we've had so far. Haaland is obviously the one who's gotten there the fastest so far.
Yeah.
And then you've got, Suarez. You've got all these
Salah,
players
Ronaldo.
not that far above him, right? I'm curious what the existing stats are around that achievement in
Well, he
his
just
level.
broke the Conference League record.
Oh, he
no
must-
one's
He just
ever
broke
scored
it.
41 goals in the Conference League.
So
he's
had
broke-
someone gotten to 40?
So the
I
thing,
think they'd gotten high, but not
so
quite.
if Notts don't go up, right,
He has to go somewhere, right?
he's gonna go somewhere else.
He's got to
Yeah.
go.
and then Notts are gonna be stuck in that.
Stuck without him. Well,
Without a striker that's gonna give you 40 goals. Oh,
yeah,
that's long.
yeah.
You got to wonder, though, how he would perform in the Premier League. Like, it would be
Well,
really interesting to see.
Look at Jamie Vardy. Look at the Jamie
It's
Vardy
true.
story.
It's true.
He came up from that level, played in the Prem.
It's some people.
Goal scorers translate.
That's the best point. I think it's true. Goal scorers
Yeah.
translate. Doesn't matter what level they're at. A guy that knows how to bag goals
Will bag a
anywhere
goal
they play.
regardless.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Awesome story. Actually, Notts County. A little bit of trivia for you. Juventus are only black and white because of Notts County.
What?
Did you know that?
Can you explain that?
Fun fact: about 100 and something years ago, Juventus used to be pink in the early 1900s, and they were traveling to England to play a game. They didn't have their jerseys. Notts County lent them their jerseys.
No way.
And they performed well in the black and white, and they changed to black and white. And so they're considered like a brother-sister club. Juventus went on to be Juventus, and Notts County in the 5th division. But yeah, fun fact.
That's a
Great story.
fact.
There you go.
I
The
like
more you
that.
know, the more you know. Ange Postecoglou pretty much has one hand on the Scottish title for the second year in a row. They beat Rangers in the Old Firm derby. Probably the 10th of the season. But a 3-2 win, and he's now 12 points clear. Massive. I had this conversation last week with someone, but is the Old Firm derby the biggest rivalry in the world? And
In the world?
yeah, because they absolutely hate each other. The problem, I think, is that they play so often. They're playing again in 2 weeks.
Too much.
Yeah.
And then again probably 2 weeks after that.
It is.
But is there a bigger derby in England than the Old Firm derby?
I'm thinking of Arsenal Tottenham maybe.
Is that bigger
I
than the
don't-
Old Firm?
I don't think it's bigger. I don't think it's bigger than that.
No?
No.
You've got to think as well, like when I think about the Old Firm derby, I always think like big deal.
Yeah.
Even if it is every fortnight.
Yeah.
You still think like that those fans go in and they
It's
just
what it means to the
hate
fans.
each other.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't really matter about the
It's
players.
kind of like maybe Boca River Plate.
That's what I was thinking.
equivalent
That's up
for
there.
me.
Yeah, that's up there. And then you got your other ones like
Because it goes down to like religion and all that, doesn't
Yeah,
it? So
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's a bit more deep
It's
rooted.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
which
lot of
is-
history in these.
where the best derbies come from. It is really good. But credit to Ange Postecoglou, looking to win the Scottish Cup as well, where he plays them in the semi-final. Hopefully he can complete a treble there, flying.
Amazing.
How's this for a storyline? I want to get your opinion on this. Onside or offside? Now, there's rumours coming out. Real Madrid played Villarreal on the weekend, right? Producer Shab's already giggling over there. I don't know what he's giggling at. There's a Villarreal player
Yes.
who's Baena. Known for being a bit of a dog.
Yeah.
Apparently Alex Baena said something to Federico Valverde on the pitch. Now, Valverde has been killing it. Amazing player, Uruguayan, plays for Real Madrid.
Yep.
Apparently said something to him on the pitch that, to me, is very offside. Valverde found him in the car park afterwards and punched him in the face
Oh, he found because of what he said.
because of what he said on the pitch. This is all allegedly, but this has been reported by a Spanish paper, right? Now, before you get the context, onside or offside, because you always say you leave it on the pitch. What happens on the pitch stays on the pitch. I used to hate when I'm marking a guy and he's like, I'll catch you in the car park after. Shut the fuck up, mate.
It
No, you
depends.
won't.
It depends. What if it's racism? Nah, I'm sorry. I'm catching you on the
Only
in the
racism?
car park. Anything else? I think anything else is just I don't know.
Offside?
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I'm going to tell you what apparently was said.
Unless they're talking about your missus or something.
Okay, we're getting
Well,
there.
it's fair. I think
If
it's
man's digging at your missus, then yeah, I might have to catch
Family.
you outside.
We're getting there, right? So
Okay.
apparently this is fucked up. I think this is fucked up. And I was happy to hear that Valverde put one on his chin. So apparently Valverde and his missus had some trouble having a baby.
oh no.
And he said, cry because your child won't be born.
Oh nah,
On the
sorry.
pitch.
Yeah, catch me outside.
Yeah?
Respectfully.
He deserves these hands, eh?
Disrespectfully.
Yeah, and as
What
a
a
female,
dog!
you can catch me outside as well.
What a fucking dog.
Nah,
eh?
you don't say that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what.
That
you're trying to-
shows like terrible character.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, what is it? I feel like La Liga, like shit like that happens.
They're a
Like
bit
they
dirty.
say stuff like that. Like they'll say like
I've
kill
stood,
like your
I've stood
grandma
by
and
this.
stuff like that. They'll
that,
say
like
that
the
shit.
most racist place I've ever lived. I've lived in Australia and I've lived in Spain. It was far more racist than here.
Yeah.
But it's that kind of inherent racism that people, even just everyday things that they would say.
and
I'm
they'll,
like,
and,
what
and
did
they'll
you
just
just
be like,
say?
oh, just get over it. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like it's like
They're not scared to say what they think.
Well, how's this, right? The Spanish are a bit hot-headed. The Premier League this season, 28 red cards have been shown in the Prem. You know how many reds have been in La Liga?
50.
108 red cards.
wow.
No way.
1,347 yellows.
They're handing
Who
them
are
out.
the, like, do we know who the main culprits are?
No, and Ramos has left. And so is Pepe.
Because it was Ramos
It's
for a
not
long
them,
time.
right? It's not them. They're crazy, the
Ramos
Spanish.
Ramos and Pepe are left.
Ramos
And
was the most red carded player for
He
a long
was.
time.
He was.
I wonder who it is now.
They need
if
a fucking
anyone-
tranquilo over there in
it's
Spain.
actually
Settle the fuck
mad
down.
to think about how much red.
You know what we
Ramos
need
got.
there? The white card.
Yeah, just send them all off.
That's wild.
I hope someone 2-foots Baena in the next game though. If it's true that he did say that
That's
stuff,
disgusting if you
Yeah.
say
I'm
that.
sure it will be.
he'll
Offside.
get what's coming to him. But there's plenty of beef all around the world. Let's go actually quickly before I get to a couple of our fan questions. I don't know if you saw this. EA Sports FC was announced. You see that? The next generation of FIFA.
Nah.
No, you didn't see it. You didn't miss
what
much.
is
It
it?
looks pretty shit. But anyway, we'll see what they come up with. Because
like
there's no more
the
FIFA.
next FIFA's called EA Sports FC.
Yeah,
EA Sports.
because they can't be called FIFA anymore. And it's got this weird little triangle logo, and everyone's trying to
Really?
hype it up. I don't know.
Aw,
But
that's sad.
Gianni Infantino said FIFA will be making their own game. So
Oh,
let's-
really? So FIFA and
Today I
EA are going
feel-
to be two
And
separate
Pez
games.
is still also cracking.
And
I think.
Pez-
Nah, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see the two games. if
I don't
they
mind.
do.
I for one welcome our new ant overlords. I like a bit. That was a Simpsons reference for any Simpsons fans over there. producer chefs. I for one, I think the more competition, the better. I got a bit tired of FIFA, so I wouldn't mind.
I do think FIFA's kind of died out last couple of years.
Too much
Just
Ultimate Team. They're taking our
Team
cash.
Just took out the whole fun
But
in
the
game.
question with FIFA,
Mm.
if FIFA make their own, do they call it FIFA?
Well, they probably
Yeah,
can. They
but
can
that's
call
the
it
whole
FIFA.
thing.
Yeah.
That's why they've taken
Yeah.
it away, so they can call it FIFA.
Welcome, Kat.
What
Welcome
would
to
they
the
call it?
conversation.
It's a great point. It's a
Yeah.
great point.
They call it EA.
Anyway,
Anyway,
anyway, Kat's not super experienced in the
Come
FIFA chat.
Yeah, no.
Couple of fan questions that have dropped in here. Apele92. Can Aston Villa make the Champions League? And is Unai Emery the manager of the season? Two massive questions.
Where's he taking them from? Where to where?
Well, he's taken them from
Are they
where
in
Gerrard
sixth?
had them, which was fighting for relegation. They're now all the way up to 6th.
Yeah, they're in 6.
They're 9 points off the top 4, but they've played a game more. I think that's going to be a bit of a stretch. They could make Europa League, though. They're only 6 points off Tottenham. It's an incredible turnaround.
Yeah, it is.
It's an incredible turnaround. Manager of the season?
He's gone under the radar, eh?
He has.
Considering
He has. He's done
Good
an incredible
evening.
job.
That's-
Yeah.
it's
Good
gone
evening.
Very, very under the radar.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
He's done very, very well. Look, I will say to you, can they make the Champions League? No. Is he manager of the season?
He has to be up there.
For me, he probably is for what he's done, but he won't win the award, if that makes sense.
yeah, the bias of
Yeah. If
Top
Arteta
4
wins the
or
league,
whatever
Arteta's
will-
manager of the season. If this is what's funny, if Pep wins the league, he's probably not manager of the season.
Which
You know
is-
what I mean?
No, he's not.
He's not, which is weird. It's sad, but that's just the way it is. But if Arteta wins it, he is manager of the season.
Did you hear that Pep apparently has a thing with PK's new
I
woman?
heard this.
Really?
Speaking of Pep,
PK's new missus, the young one, who he cheated on Shakira with
apparently she's now
Wait, does
cheated
Pep-
on PK with Pep.
Pep Guardiola.
Does Pep not have a wife?
He does. That's why this is bad.
I think this is bullshit.
I do too.
Come
I find this
on.
so hard.
I
to
just don't
believe.
believe it. I feel like these days anyone could start a rumor.
Yeah.
But Pep is a sly dog.
yeah.
He is,
Also,
eh?
back in the day,
I prefer the sex. Have you ever heard that one?
Back in the
Have you ever heard
day-
that one from him?
Yeah, I think so.
Have you heard that one? That one of his players said that they compare being coached by Guardiola to having sex.
Yeah.
It's that good. And they asked him in a conference, they're like, do you find it weird that your players are comparing you to that? And he said, I prefer the sex.
What a guy.
that's
the
amazing.
most Pep thing ever.
What
Yeah,
a
back
guy.
in the day, Pep,
Yeah?
fine.
Yeah? Even now.
Yeah.
Like, for a
He's still-
bald man.
Oh,
I,
he-
I even think he's still good.
What?
Haram.
Haram.
For the baldies out there.
Just
don't
haram
worry.
me on the pod.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with being bald. Pep pulls it off. He's
Yeah.
very handsome, but there is nothing wrong with being bald.
True.
Okay.
True.
All right. Anyway.
I don't want to discriminate.
Well, STN Daily asked us one player other than Messi and Ronaldo that you'd love to watch live. Have you guys seen Messi and Ronaldo live?
Vinicius.
I've seen Messi.
You seen Messi live, yeah?
I'm going Vinicius Jr.
Vinicius live.
Ooh,
I think
these
he's
days.
just. I think he's. I was watching his highlights the other day, and I think he's just the new. He is what Ronaldinho would have liked
Tiki taka.
for this generation.
Okay.
He's. I even think he's just unplayable at times. He can go at any defender currently 1v1, the best in the world, and beat him.
He's the best winger in the world, no doubt.
100%.
I'd say he's the best winger in the world. Tell that to Nick Stav and Bukayo Saka. But anyone for you that stands out?
You know, Stubbs is going to see Arsenal play.
He
this
is, lucky
week.
man.
I'm so excited for him.
Apparently, the season ticket, not the season ticket, to watch that game, the last game of the season for Arsenal, apparently those tickets are going for like 50k
That's insane.
pounds, I believe.
50k.
Imagine paying 50k and they lose the title.
Surely you're not.
Oh my god!
Surely you're not like the person who spends their life savings on that. Like I hope.
No,
that-
no.
I
There
hope
are
that if
people that do
that's
that.
you,
There are
I
people.
hope the 50 grand's like nothing to you. Like I don't
Yeah.
want people spending their good hard-earned money on
No,
that.
to go
no,
see
no,
that,
you don't
yeah.
understand football culture in England. They will.
They will.
That's
That
so
that
sad.
will be like that's all they need in life.
Yeah.
See Arsenal win the Premier League. That is all they ask for.
They're done. They can.
They,
Wow.
can,
You
they
can
would
take me
easily
now.
pay 50k for that.
Yeah. But good shout, Vinicius Junior. I'd probably go with Ronaldinho if I could watch a player in their prime. If I could
Any
watch
play.
someone like.
Oh,
Oh, any player. I thought it was current. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If it's current, you're probably right. There's probably not too many better than Vinicius. Eh?
if it's any player at all,
If it's any player ever, it'd be Ronaldinho.
has to be
mine would be this current Napoli side,
Yeah.
and I would want it. You say his name so
Feature.
well.
Yeah.
I want to see him play.
Watch him live.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, actually, in Napoli this week, the first baby called Kvicha was born.
No, that's so cute.
Yeah. So when Maradona played for Napoli, if you meet like a
No,
guy
stop.
that
That's
was
really
born
cute.
in the late 80s, early 90s, there's a lot of Diegos that were born in Napoli because everyone was calling their son Diego. And Napoli's known for that, right? They're very fanatical. And now the first baby this week was born, Kvicha. So they're starting to name him after
I actually
Kvaratskhelia.
love that story.
Yeah, yeah. So watch this space.
Good on him.
Watch this space. That's it. That's all we got time for here. But guys, we do have a special edition pod coming later in the week. Olan and Kat sit down with Daniel Georgievski to talk everything about the local game and his awesome career experiences. Guys, make sure you follow in the pod, subscribe, do your thing. Hope you had a great Easter. And for all the Orthodox, hope you're looking forward to your Easter coming up this weekend. And for all the Muslims, hope you're enjoying Ramadan and those night markets down in Lakemba because they've been
And all
sick.
the Jewish, I hope
And all the
Passover
Jewish, I
was
hope
great.
Passover was great as well. And all those who don't believe in anything, I hope you're enjoying your football as well. Okay? Because you deserve to have fun too. So each and every one of you, thanks so much for joining us. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Ciao, ciao.
Yeah.